Corn School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Headline Amp Fungicide and Pride Seeds.
Bernard Tobin here from the Southwest Ag Conference. We're going to talk fungicides today, and who better than Kiersten Wise from the University of Kentucky and Albert Tenuta, OMAFRA's pathologist. Thank you both for stopping by.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Awesome. I want to talk about fungicide timing. Specifically in corn, we always talk about that optimum stage at silking. Kiersten, you've done a lot of research in Kentucky. Talk about that timing and what you've learned.
Right, so we actually have a lot of regional data looking at timing, and both Albert and I are part of the Corn Disease Working Group, and we combine a lot of our fungicide trials every year, and we've been doing that to look at whether the early application, sort of a V4, V6 timing compares to our more standard tasseling early silking timing. And what's interesting from that is that over a lot of years, over about 10 years worth of data, it's shown very consistently that the tasseling silking timing is going to provide a better chance for an economic yield response compared to that early application timing.
Now, when you think about dawn, something we've tackled the last few years, ear rots, molds, from a timing perspective, what do you say?
Well, as Kiersten mentioned, we heard tassel timing. She also said tassel silking timing. That's an important piece there. So we can actually get two things done with one application. We can get our foliar fungicide or foliar diseases, which Kiersten had mentioned about, so northern corn leaf blight, gray leaf spot, and common rust and those. But at the same time, we can also be looking at and managing those ear rots and potentially those mycotoxin issues that we see. So again, instead of that tassel time, looking at the silks as well. And so in many cases when we look at an R1, you're looking at 50% of those silks emerge. You may want to move those to full silking. And so there you can get the benefit of both that tassel, full R1 application, and get that foliar and ear mold control.
I want to talk about, products. We've seen more and more products and modes of action. We started with the strobies, then the triazoles, and now we're having more modes of action. You're doing a lot of research on, different modes, multiple modes. What's it telling you about product selection and timing?
That's right. Well, we've not only looked at when do you spray, but what should you spray. And so now with our next generation of fungicides and multiple fungicide classes, a lot of our regional research has shown that if we're using a strobilurin plus a triazole fungicide, that we can see a better chance of getting an economic yield response compared to using a strobilurin or a triazole alone.
Now you've also mentioned, hey, there's some great individual products there that continue to do a good job, but fungicide science, chemistry, combinations is changing.
Oh yeah, no, as Kiersten mentioned, we started with just a single strobies. That's what we had available. Right. Then you brought in the triazoles. Now we're starting to see the SDHIs as well. So you're getting up to 3 different modes, 3 different actives there. And our data is starting to show, both in Ontario, Kentucky, as well as these regional ones, that those are starting to increase efficacy and, importantly, return on investment to those producers. And our data this year supports much of that.
I want to talk about, decisions farmers are going to make in the next month or so, and that is, where to go with their fungicides, how they should strategize, specific fields, specific products. What should they be thinking about and doing in the next little while?
Well, we've been talking about it, when we talk fungicides, you're talking in season in this case. You can do preparation in terms of what products you're looking at and plan ahead that way. But right now, the most important things are hybrid selection. Are we looking at a more tolerant, susceptible hybrid in those cases? Your rotation side of things, is it corn on corn, heavy residue? We have lots of no-till. You have a lot of no-till fields in there. So those increase your risks as well. Weather environments, those field histories and that. And so as we talk to many growers, they have fields that are considered higher risk fields anyway. And those are the ones they normally will start to plan for a fungicide application. They have other fields that for one reason or another don't really reach that potential and they don't see that payback. And then really there's a percentage of their fields where they have to make that decision in season as well. So right now, get out there, plan your hybrid selection is probably the most important thing. Keep that rotation and assess your risk factors and target those fields that are the highest risk.
Final question for you. You did a little work on payback and what the percentage of payback is on fungicides. The overall number is pretty wide, but focusing on those fields
Right.
that have those risk factors is key.
That's right. So I know that in Kentucky in particular, if I have a farmer who's planting a susceptible hybrid for foliar diseases, and he's in no-till, and he's corn on corn, and our environment in Kentucky is very conducive for diseases, and in those situations, a fungicide application could get about a 60 to 70% chance of seeing a net economic benefit.
Awesome. Well, hey, some great insights, some great research. Thanks for dropping by.
No, thanks for the
Thank you.
opportunity.
Awesome.